Yo, boo.
What the deal?
You all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Another episode. You know what I'm saying? Table of consequence. You all ready? We gotta pay homage to our sponsors. I mean, shout out to Flex Fitness for housing us. You know what I mean? Thing real comfortable. You know what I mean? You know, when I be sitting in these chairs, right? I be feeling like I be withdrawn. It put me back in like casino days. You know what I mean? How comfortable the chairs is. You know how they don't want you to leave. So I feel like you don't be wanting us to leave, bro. You gotta sit.
Yeah, I definitely don't. But get your mind out that casino, though.
You already, bro. You know what it did to me.
No.
But yeah. Shout out to Flex Fitness. Shout out to Yo High Helping Hands. Shout out to that Wars Bar. And shout out to Self Preparatory Academy.
Mm-hmm.
What we doing, bro?
Once again, it's on, man. For the viewers that's been following us, man, I appreciate you guys' patience. You know, I like to definitely highlight my sons on the back of the mural because it's real, you know, and it's connected to, you know, the message. And I like to introduce my son, Gerald Stewart, that's to my right, who died in Philadelphia from the gun violence at the age of 23. And right next to him is my nephew, Omar Vasquez, who died in Philadelphia as well from a car accident. And then right next to him is my son, Mutman, that died in Philadelphia from gun violence as well at 18. And next to him is my other son, Montrell Stewart, who died in Philadelphia as well from gun violence. Consequences, bruh. 3 sons, bruh.
That's enough right there for the viewers to reflect, man. You know, the man lost 3 sons. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could really end the show right here.
No doubt.
And be quite honest, you know what I'm saying? And just, reflect off of that. Like, living in this city and knowing that this city, you know what I mean, took 3 babies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's definitely something to reflect on.
For sure.
And like I say in the book, man, for those who reflect.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What we doing, bro?
Oh, man, I'm super excited, man. You know, I got one of my guys, man, as a guest today. You know what I mean? You know, me and this brother, man, we go back to like behind the wall.
Ew.
Behind the wall.
Yeah.
You
Which
know,
wall?
walk
The tall wall?
The tall wall. Like you can't scale over.
Yeah.
And the barbed wire fences.
Even if you had a boost.
Yeah,
even
for
if somebody
sure.
gave you a boost.
And me and this brother became real fond of each other. And the crazy thing about it is, man, we was twinning, bro. He got the same attribute as mine.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, I would love for him to introduce himself and you know, get a world his story. You know what I'm saying?
No question, man. What's up, everybody, man? My name, a lot of people in the streets know me by Mook, you know, or Spank, but I'm gonna get naked on this joint, no Diddy, man. You understand? And I'm gonna let my soul, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give it to you from my soul, man. But my name's Santos Delior, man, and you know, we talking about table consequences, so.
Mm-hmm.
I feel as though this the perfect platform, you know, to educate and, you know, talk to the youth and, you know, as older people as well, you know, that can
for sure. That's
probably
tough.
relate, you understand, you know, to some things, you know, that I had to deal with, you know, based on my decisions and the consequences that came with them, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. You know, growing up as a young boy, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it on myself, man. You know, maybe people can relate, but you know, it was a time, you know, when I was coming up, you know, black or white didn't matter. You understand? You know, rich or poor didn't matter. Material things didn't matter. You know, how big the house was or apartment didn't matter. You know, I was a little kid. You know, just living life. But you know, for me, you know, some things in my life changed. And you know, once I saw some things, you know, it was a big change, man. You know, knowing the difference, you know, that I am black. You understand what I'm saying? You know, that I am, you know, not poor, but you know, it wasn't no extras. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, And just just knowing that I'm different, and that I might not be like this person because my dad, my dad was of a different breed. I'm named after him. I'm a junior. They called him Chico in the street from South Philly, Wilson Park. You know what I mean? He was like a player, slash pimp, and we he showed me a whole different life, man. He had he had a mansion up in East Mount area on Wissahickon Avenue.
Yeah.
And then he had another
All the way
house.
in the back.
Right,
Yeah.
6611 Wissahickon Avenue to be exact. That was the address. And he had a house over Jersey with swimming pools and jacuzzis. So coming from living with my mom and then going with him, it was like a whole different life. Like damn, like this a whole different side. And my dad was a gentleman.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? He taught me, because when I went with him, this was the Puma New York era. When we walked, our sneaks flopped off our feet. And,
right.
My dad was like, man, tie your shoes up, man. Like, hat backwards, like, man, turn your head around, man. I don't know if you moving forward or backwards, man. Shit like that.
Right.
And man, he taught me different mannerisms like yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I apologize.
Yeah.
Praying before I ate.
I apologize.
Right. So when I went home, mom ain't like that shit, man.
Dang.
Mom ain't like that.
Yeah. She seen your dad rubbing off.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but
she seen him rubbing off.
That it changed the dynamics of our relationship. I remember I used to say, I'm sorry, Mom, She say, I know you sorry. Sorry, motherfucker.
Dang.
Shit like that, man. She used to, hurt me, man. I love my mom to death, man. You understand? I'm not here to talk bad about her or nothing like that. I'm just talking about me.
Right.
And what happened with me.
Right. And how you were feeling in that moment.
Right. And from there, man, my life changed, man. I got sent away to, school at the age of 9 years old. It was Scotland School for Veteran Children. It was only in Chambersburg. But, taking that ride, man, it seemed so far away.
Right. Yeah.
Chambersburg right outside of Harrisburg.
Yeah, for sure.
You understand? And now I'm up here with these Caucasians disciplining me. Hitting me with paddles and grabbing me by my ears and all that kind of stuff, man. I really didn't understand it why I couldn't come home. And this went on for 2 years, man, and I finally came back, and then but I seen that like my behaviors had changed because now I'm in the 6th grade and my grade's not the same, and it's a lot going on. Like I was traumatized by just my mother was my first love, man.
Right, for sure.
You know what I mean? But it's a lot that I didn't understand, man. Just heartbroken.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Feeling abandoned.
Right.
Like why am I away? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got that.
And I wound up, getting sent away again. Because my grades wasn't too good, and by this time I was just acting out. But getting back to another change that really affected me, just like 19. I'm 13. At the time I was 13 years old. I went to my sister's house, right, and I have a nephew, that's a year older than me, man. And when I went over his house, man, when I went over her house, my nephew, her son, he had all the sneakers. He had like 10 pair of sneakers. He had Lottos, Prince, Shahis, like all them joints,
back
right?
In the day
all
joints,
back in the day joints,
hot
right?
joints.
And he had jewelry. Like, ain't nobody during that time had no 10 pair of sneaks, man.
With jewelry.
Right, with jewelry. And he only a year older than me. But he was grinding, he was getting money.
Right.
And when I went back home, man, I felt that I deserved more and I wasn't living right. I can get more.
Where he lived at the time?
He lived down southwest where the JBM boys was right,
Oh, got you.
54th and Greenway.
Gotcha.
Like right there in the mix of it.
In the
you
mix.
Know? Yeah. So, you know, and we 13. I'm in the 8th grade, you know. And I always apologize to him because I took some of his sneaks.
Right.
You know, I took some of his sneaks back home with me, you know, and they found them, you know what I mean? But that's how, like, you know, during that time, man, you know, it was only like 3 pair of sneaks a year, man, you know.
Right.
Beginning of school,
right.
You know,
in the middle,
holidays, Christmas,
right,
you know,
right.
when we celebrated that.
Easter.
And Easter.
Right.
And the Easter joints got to last you into the next school year.
Right.
They going through the summer and all that.
Right.
So it was
Crazy.
just different, man. But
let me not to cut you off.
Yeah, you know, you good.
First and foremost, I just want to say, man, you brothers look dapper, man.
you
You know what I mean? You know, pink my favorite color. You know what I mean? Since I had a daughter,
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And you know, I had to shout my daughter. I had to slide her in there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, always looking dapper. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the first time you went away, right? You just went away for no reason, like for 2 years, for like just like your mom said, just you going away.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I came home one day, and she showed me this brochure. You know, you got the kids, you know, riding on horses and
right.
You
she tried to sell it to you.
And I'm an only child too.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, by my mother. But yeah, so she sold it to me.
Right.
Like, yeah, I want to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? But man, I had no idea.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Similar to boarding school.
Right.
Similar to like building you for that penitentiary.
Right. And not only that, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because that's what it did, man. It like you know, they really didn't have a handle. It was a lot going on up there, drugs and everything, man.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like that wasn't no safe place, you know, for your child.
Right.
You know, especially at that age because it's wide open.
Right.
You know, so you know we lived in these things that they call cottages.
Right.
And yeah, so you know we had the house parents. And,
cottage parents. Yeah.
Right. And they was allowed to spank you and you know discipline you and you know yell at you and all that, man. I wasn't used to none of that, man. I'm 9 years old, man.
Right.
You know, homesick.
Right.
You know, crying every night in the bed. You know what I mean?
So you ain't come home for a whole 2 years?
No, well, we got to come home for holidays, and we got to come home for the summer.
Right. Okay.
You know, but they had DHS kids up there as well.
Okay.
So if they didn't have families, then you know they would have to stay up there.
Right.
Like I came home for the summers, and I think maybe did we come home for Christmas? I'm not really sure. I think it was just for the summertime.
Right.
I believe so. I could be mistaken, but I believe it was just for the summertime. Yeah. But that, you know, those things right there changed me, man, and it just made me like you talking about, and that little boy still lives in me, man.
Right.
You know, and that's what I'm dealing with now.
Yeah.
You know, I heard your folks, you know, when you had your wife on here, she was talking about mental health and all that, right? And you know, that little abandoned child still lives in me, and I still. You know, I go to therapy today, man. Right. You understand what I'm saying? You know,
go to
talk
therapy?
about that. Yeah, I go to therapy.
That's major.
Yeah, I go to therapy.
No, that's major.
Yep. So, you know, abandonment, man, and just trust and loyalty because I was brought up on that.
Right.
I was brought up on family stick together, and you know, we don't tell each other secrets, and you know, just that loyalty aspect of it, and you know, it messed me up so much, right? That once I went through that issue with my mom, right? Of you know, and we cool today. I love my mom to death. Just was on the phone with her yesterday.
Right.
I didn't know. I never wanted to love another woman, right? Give her my heart, right? But I had to figure this. I just figured this out maybe like a year ago, maybe like 2 years ago. But I love to be with women, right? But I didn't know. I didn't want to be with them, whereas though I had to love them. You understand what I'm saying? Or give them my heart, you know. So, man, I be embarrassed to say this, right? You know, today, but you know, because of the stigma that's put on it, and you know, but I began to deal with prostitutes and go-go dancers. You understand what I'm saying? And we all had something in common. You know what I mean? You know, that abandonment, you know, them they, you know, women issues of you know, SA. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, man, we loved on each other, man. And those was like the best relationships, you know, that I had been in, you know, outside of that, you know, outside of having to love someone, because it was a love, but it was a different kind of love. It wasn't a type of love like where you at, or you know, where you at, what you doing. You know what I'm saying? Or like you, I can't be with this woman, or you know, it was open, it was open, but it was a major love. You understand what I'm saying? And it was that's how jacked up my mind was, though.
Yeah, no doubt. So with that being said, how long you dealt with that, the prostitutions and stuff? Like, can you elaborate a little bit more with that?
Yeah, so I dealt with that from '03 to 2013. You know, just going to different states and cities, man. You know, with the women, and you know, we just getting money, man. You understand what I'm saying? Uh,
Get money meaning like you was
like
you was they pimp.
yeah, I was a pimp. Yeah, I was the
Man.
pimp, man, for lack of
So
better
you
words.
was a
Yeah.
pimp for 10 years.
For 10 years.
Dang,
Yeah,
dang.
for 10 years. For 10 years. And the thing about it, like, you know, these wasn't women that were, you know, like on drugs or uh, you know, beat down. These were women that guys wanted, the street guys wanted to wife.
Wanted to be with.
And had been with them prior to, but now that they was with me, it was like, hold up, Jack, you know, what type of ends you working with?
Right.
You know? And we you know, I'm cool with all of them to this day.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
most
saying?
definitely.
It wasn't never no hitting involved, no you gotta do this or you gotta do that. Like, you know, it was a family thing. Everybody understood the mission.
Right.
Mm.
You understand?
Understood the mission.
Yeah. And 2013, man. But see, I'm the type of person, right? Like, I accepted Islam in my life, and I always had that conscience, like, even if I am doing wrong, it's always a fair for me. Like, if I'm doing wrong and there ain't nothing going on with me, then, you know, that's a scary thing for me. You understand what I'm saying? What I mean by that is, like, you know, being tested. You know, like, if I'm just successful at just doing wrong, right? So that like kind of really started to work on my spirit, man. And I just left the streets alone, man. I got married. You know what I mean? I finally did get my heart
That's
to
what's
somebody.
up.
That's
You know
all
what I
right.
mean? And when I say I left the streets alone, I just left the streets alone. You know, and I got married.
Cold turkey.
Yeah, got married. Yup, cold turkey, because it wasn't working. I mean, it just didn't feel right inside. And not only that, the game was starting to change. Like, everybody was getting hip.
Right.
You know, anybody and everybody was, you know, getting hip, you know. So it was starting to change, and you know, the charges had changed.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm fortunate that I never caught a charge or got locked up in that, because that's a hell of a time. Like, you know, they roofing they roofing
trafficking
jokers for
now.
that
Right.
now, right?
Right.
So
Gotcha.
back then it wasn't even trafficking.
Right.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, yeah, man.
It's deep. You talk about abandonment,
Yeah.
and I can relate. You know what I mean? For a long time, right? I created this narrative in my head that my mom abandoned me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you know, like, loyalty was like everything to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Same here, yeah.
like so when you crossed that, it was like I was devastated.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when somebody like crossed that, my Lord, because when I say I'm with you, I'm with you.
Mm.
Right.
Like all the way to the graveyard.
No
Like,
question.
if I gotta go do time, if I got whatever, because like I gave you my trust, I gave you my loyalty, I gave you everything, and it's crazy because I can remember that day, man, and you know, I had got in trouble in school. I used to get in trouble a lot. I used to act out, and I was a handful for my mom.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, single parent, trying to work that night, trying to raise two children on her own, trying to do it the right way, going to school and working, and just trying to ends meet and dealing with our own mental health. You know what I'm saying? But I don't understand. I didn't understand none of that
Right.
growing up. So, I got suspended from school. And when I was suspended, she still used to make me do stuff like clean the house or go outside and do something. So when I was suspended, it was this newspaper people. I used to deliver the papers for them, right? When I really supposed to have been in school. So, but you had to come get your money on Fridays.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
So I told my mom, I had to go back to school that Friday.
Right.
I'm like, no, I'm gonna get my money because them people gonna burn me if I don't go get my money.
Absolutely.
She like, forget that money, you going back to school. I want to go get the money. She said, if you leave out this house, don't come back. I went to my grandma's house after I picked the bread up. I was living out west at the time. I went to my grandma's house back up Germantown. So Sunday evening come. My mom spin the block to pick my little brother up. I go to get in the car. She like, oh, you thought I was joking? She popped the trunk. She degraded me down to 2 trash bags, bro. She opened the trunk, threw 2 trash bags out, said, yeah, I told you, you know what I mean? You leave out this house, don't come back. You know what I mean? So in my mind, when she ain't let me get in the car and go home with her, I felt like my mom gave up on me. And I felt like she abandoned me, right? And I felt like that I shouldn't have been allowed to make that decision.
Right.
You know what I mean? At that age.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I lived with that for a long time. You know what I mean? Before, I was able to, get over some things. And when you talk about that, like a lot of that abandonment showed up in my relationships with my friends, with the females.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A lot of that stuff show up.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? And you don't really know how to channel it. You don't even really know what it is when you're going through it because you're young. But it's wrapped around disappointment. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that was that was something I had to work through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Let me jump in real quick before we give it back to my guy Moltman. I can relate. I can relate to both of you guys. I remember going through my issues of abandonment with my mom at 11. At the time, she was dating a guy named David, right? And for some odd reason, my mom and him agreed to call the cops on me. I was 11 years old, and what had happened was my mom called me in from off the street. She drove down the block. I was outside near the corner. She called me in the house to try on some graduation shoes, and I remember I was just so busy trying to get her, you know what I mean, to just, go in the crib so I can continue to do what I was doing. I rushed in the house real quick. Now I remembering I had 110 vials of crack cocaine on me. Sat down. There was in the back. I used to keep my coke in a tater chip bag.
Right.
You know what I mean? And wrap it up in a tater chip bag. I had them in a tater chip bag. I sat down. They started falling out my pockets on a couch like this. And make a long story short, she called the cops. First time I ever got arrested. And I went through the whole process. She let me stay in the youth study center the whole 9. I went up Slayton Farms. I was in Washington College. In my mind, I looked at it like she abandoned me. Right. And in her mind, she was looking at it like, this was something that was good for me. You know what I mean? At that time, like y'all learned my lesson. And I came home super rebellious. I ain't had nowhere to go. So in my mind, I ain't even want to go home.
Right.
But I had to go there because I ain't had nowhere to, I'm 11,
Right.
12 years old. I ain't got nowhere to go. But what I did say to myself was, like, I'm gonna get a world hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm still gonna be under this roof, I ain't doing nothing that I used to try to do this to make sure you was good,
Right.
just to please my mom. Like I was going to school, I was doing everything different.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't doing nothing according to. It changed me right away. It took me through so much all the way up until I got certified as an adult, until I went upstate, and I remember the moment that I realized the ownership part for me was taking ownership was the decision I made at that very young age to even start taking a liking to the older cats that was from down my way that passed me the crack from the rip.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I was never in that lane,
Mm-hmm.
it would have never challenged my mom to make that illegitimized decision for me to start harboring those feelings. You know what I mean? And eventually, I had that conversation with her. We both cried like babies, and and it freed me up. It freed me up, and we've been on the ball ever since. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I got a question for you though, man.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, man, you've been to jail before,
Mm-hmm.
so when you first got arrested, you know what I'm saying, and went upstate, what was that charge for, and what was your mindset once you got out?
First time I got arrested was for armed robbery. I was going to go. It was December 1st, 1990. I never forget the date. It was the first of the month, and I was going to go re-up. And I had went to go grab, and the person that I was going to go grab from wasn't there. So I said, I'm gonna walk up the street, and see these other folks. And after I had grabbed on my way back down, niggas put up the pistol on me, man. I mean, I remember I had the Warridge on. He hit me with the pistol, and I had some peanuts on my face too, some Alpina glasses. And I tried to run. And when I ran, he grabbed me by the back of the hood, spent me around all in one motion, spent me around, snatched the glasses off my face, and put the pistol to my ribs. So I got away. I was mad as hell. I went back up Erie Avenue, and I seen one of my homies, and from there we went on route and wound up getting caught. The whole 35th district, I'm talking about, was on us. I jumped in the yard. I climbed the gate and I jumped in the yard. As soon as I jumped it, I didn't come all the way down because I heard the dogs barking. I was about to jump in the yard with some dogs, right? So but I still had a grip on the fence, and I was able to hop back up and switch back onto the other side. And I came down, and I caught that charge, man. I remember, man, they put me over Holmesburg prison, man. Because my bail was $50,000. And he threw me 50,000 back then. You went to Holmesburg. Yeah, Holmesburg prison, man. But that experience was crazy, but it made me into a man. You understand what I'm saying? I learned discipline. I learned how to deal and interact with people. You understand what I'm saying? It just made me a little different, man. But it was a sad feeling. It was hurtful, man, because I really ain't had nobody on my no, I'm lying. My grandma was still living, and my grandma made sure that I had a lawyer. You understand? And she was ready to put a house up and everything, man. Rest in peace to my grandma, man, Gladys Watson, man. But yeah, she was ready to put the crib up and everything, and because I could do no wrong in her eyes, It wasn't me, grandma. They did that and the third. Right. So, she always rode with me. She even used to come up to the prison and visit me, man. But yeah, man, it was definitely a reality check. And I remember old head telling me, he said, "Yo, youngin', don't let this become a revolving door for you." And I'm like, man, I'm cool. I ain't never coming back to this joint.
Right.
And man, countless times over, man, I done been back, man. But I finally got it today.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Making better decisions, man.
Yeah, that's what's up. What you got going on? What's your life like today, bruh?
Right now, man, I'm trying to complete this book, man. I'm in school, man, for my associate's degree.
Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah, man, at Perth University, uh, certified peer and recovery specialist. Dealing with the mental health and the active addicts. You understand? And just trying to give it back because I fell I fell on the addiction side of things. You understand what I'm saying? Due to just life, showing up and not, I'm used to trying to figure it out. And just this particular time, and I couldn't figure it out. Was in a major car accident. Was in the hospital for like a month. I lost 2 businesses on account of that. I had bought into a franchise cleaning business, and the people that I put in to work, to work for the cleaner accounts, like such as this right here, the cleaner accounts, man, they wasn't doing their thing. So when I came out, you know, they they didn't like the work that was being done. So I wound up losing those, and I had a little vending business as well, and I lost that, man, and just not knowing, I had some bread, but if you ain't got nothing coming in for me, if it ain't nothing coming in, and then you just spending. To me, you broke. You know what I mean? You pop. So man, like just letting that, harping over that, and just being married, and being a leader of my household, and not being able to produce the way that I wanted to, man. Man, I started, dipping and dabbing, man, in the drugs, man. And we talking about consequences, man. Just making that decision just to do that, man. Start smoking the wet. You know what I mean? And in the process of that, man, wind up getting a divorce, becoming homeless, living in a shelter, man. It was a crazy experience for me, man, because it just one decision, man, can change your whole life.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Change your whole life, man. I remember one time when the reality check for me was that how we see the people in the street. We might see the lady, walking in front of the bus talking to herself, or
yeah.
the guy over in the corner, with his pants down. Man, I had to go to this place called uh Broad Street Ministries, Broad Street Ministries, Broad Street Ministries, to go get my ID, to
What?
go get my a new mail address. And I went there, and I was in a line with these
Mm.
same people that I was familiar with. You know what I mean, that we see out here. And I was like, damn, man, my life is just totally different a little while ago. So
Hey,
yeah, man.
what was that experience like living
That's
in a shelter? That's
It
crazy.
was like jail, man.
Yeah.
It was exactly like jail. Exactly like jail. I don't know, it had like a detention center set up, with the bunks and all, like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
dorm
for
set
sure.
up. And
Food feeding time and all that, child and all that.
yeah, all that. I really didn't eat in there, but
Yeah,
I think that the reason how I was really able to get through that was because, like, when I see unfortunate people, you know, I never like look down on them, or I never said that that would never be me. I always, asked to be protected from that.
for sure.
So when I got into that, when that happened to me, I was like, dang, and that just came from because I was looking for, apartments, but just paperwork not being right, credit not
Yeah,
being right. I couldn't, shout out to my daughter, man. She asked me to come live with her, but I just was like, no, what I mean, I gotta do this on my own. You
yeah,
understand what I'm saying? I gotta do this, and I'm gonna come up out of this joint. You know what I mean? But I just, from there, man, I got myself together. Because when I talk about the drug thing, it wasn't like every day. You know what I mean? Like but I would dip and dab maybe like 3 times a month, maybe 4. But I just I just couldn't stop. Like I would always pick back up.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
understand what I'm saying? I would always pick back up, and that's when I realized that it was a problem.
Yeah, consequence.
You know what I mean? So you know, man. Today, man. Today I'm good, man. You know, going on 3 years clean.
That's all.
You
that.
know, and
Definitely
I
all
mean,
that.
just staying afloat, man. You know, trying to give back to the people, man. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
sure.
You said you writing a book.
Yeah. So I'm a published book author, self-published book author. I have a book out called A Gentleman's Sport, and I'm currently
Time sport.
writing a self-help book right now that I'm pushing to get out by the summertime. It's called Confined Bonds, because you know how when I don't want to get too much up, but you know how inside the joint, right? You know what I mean? When you got the lifers, you see the lifers, and they have wives, right? And I'm talking about they wives be riding from.
Yeah,
I'm
for
talking
sure.
about women that they met while they was in there.
Right.
Mhm.
So it got to be something. What will make a woman out here in society go deal with a man in jail?
Yeah,
That's a great question.
that is.
Right.
Yeah,
But
but you
it's-
know, we seeing out here too, though. We
Right.
seeing a lot of men imitate the women.
Right. But this been going on for a long
Well,
time. You understand? Because I know a lot.
No,
Of,
this fair
I
play.
know this one. I know this one guy, man. Uh, he met a woman from while he was locked up, man. She, he lifer, man. She was throwing fish fries for him and everything, man.
Yeah.
I witnessed some girls fly in from Italy, to come visit some guys down Graterford.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like
Yeah,
it's
for
it's
sure. The
something
gift
to
of the
that.
gab, man.
It's something to that, right? Because the mental
You filling that
always
vacancy.
lasts longer than the physical.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? If you can, if you can romance a woman in her mind, you know what I mean, then that's more outstanding than, physically.
For sure.
You understand? So
Definitely.
yeah, so I got this self-help joint, this relationship book called Confined Bonds.
Yeah, that's
that I'm
hot.
trying to get out, man. That I'm pushing to get out. I'm not trying. I'm pushing to get out, man. I'm gonna make it happen, man. And yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, that's major.
That's all that, bro.
Yeah.
That's dope, bro. Anyway, we can and if anybody have anything that they might want to ask you outside of seeing this podcast, how can they get in contact with you, or if they want to get some free game up on how to get a book started, or
Right, for sure. I'm on Instagram under s.pleasant. That's pleasant with a Z, Pleazant, Delior, Delllior.
Delior.
Yes,
Delio.
Delior.
I remember I used to tell
Say your
him in
name
the jail-
again.
Santos Delior.
Santos
I used to tell him in the
Delior.
jail, I'm like, man, that's a name that could be on a shirt, clothing.
My son, he got that.
Yeah, that's hot.
He got the Delior. He got the Delior clothing line right now.
No, that's hot.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
I used to tell him that in the jail, walking the yard.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, you need to put that name crazy.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question though.
Yes.
Going back to your pop,
Mm-hmm.
like did y'all ever did you ever get back with him?
Oh yeah. I got back on my pop. My pop wound up losing everything, man. The partner, the woman, that he was dealing with. It was multiple women, but the one woman that was handling the business with him, she had a gambling problem, and she actually rooted my pop, man, with the witchcraft joint, right? Crazy. Just real quick, I was coming in out the swimming pool off the deck, came into the kitchen. It was this tall, dark skinned man in there with an accent, right? And he was showing her all these different. He had like all these different colored powders, crystal powders, in like a plastic baggie. And she was asking him like, "Well, what's that? What's that?" And he was telling her. And I say about maybe a year later, my dad was like, "Yeah, man, Doc put voodoo on me, man." He was like, it was powder all in my shoes, all in my suit pants pockets, and all that. And I was like, "Damn, Pop, I was there. I was there when she was buying the stuff. I was right there." So, um, yeah, he wound up losing everything, man, because she was a heavy gambler. The bills wasn't being taken care of, but my pop was a vet, so he was taken care of. You know what I mean? Through as far as housing and all that. He didn't fall on his face. Know what I mean? But he just lost that status, of being in that millionaire bracket. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. But
Hey.
yeah. And she wound up passing away from AIDS. Yeah.
Your father's still alive?
No, he passed away.
Okay.
Yep, he passed away. Yeah. But just let me say something about my mom real quick too, man. Me and my mom cool, and like you were saying, and like both of y'all was saying, sometimes we don't understand, why parents do things. I did have a conversation with my mom, and she said, man, she did what she thought was best. You know what I mean? She didn't she I looked at it as though she was being selfish and didn't want me and all that. But she was like, man, she did her best.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because she kept me fly. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, but she did her best. I remember one year, I wasn't supposed to have company. This was my 8th grade year. I wasn't supposed to have company. And she found out. The next door neighbor told her I had company. And when I came in the house, I seen all my new school clothes, laid out on the bed. I was happy. But she took all that back.
Yeah, for
my
sure.
8th grade year. And that's the same year that I went over my sister's house and my nephew seen what my nephew was doing. That's that same year. Yeah, I wound up getting best dressed that year too. Yep. Ironically, I wound up getting best dressed that year. But I had started hustling though. You know what I mean? With the little weed, the little marijuana,
Right.
selling the dollar J's.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The
getting the dollar J's from
Right.
white boy and breaking them down. Yeah. So man,
It's crazy.
yeah, yep.
Let's go in a full circle like these. It's so not so coincidental that a bunch of these stories are relatable, and it's like you're looking at the same footsteps. You know what I mean? Going down the same type of trail, and coming up with the same type of outcome. So that's why I love the platform. You know what I mean? And the way how we giving it up from the table of consequence aspect.
For sure.
Because we have to be mindful of the things that we're indulging in, because these consequences don't got no nicknames or names on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? They for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes we be thinking that we exempt, like it ain't gonna happen to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, nah, they ain't me. You know what I mean? And ultimately,
And
you
it can happen. It happened to me.
It can super happen to you.
I was homeless, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was homeless, man, in the shelter, bro. You know how I felt, man? I've always been a humble guy, man, but I was just hurt, man.
Yeah.
You understand? And it wasn't a thing where as though, me and my folks was arguing or couldn't live together. It's just that as a man, like going back to the abandonment thing again, I just felt like I wasn't loved. You understand what I'm saying? Not knowing, knowing that I was loved, but I realized in that relationship that I didn't know how to love.
Yeah, in fact.
You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I'm getting a lot of work done on myself today, man. Just being able to identify with certain things, and one thing that I could say that my mom would do is she would just do things without an explanation, without, this is why I'm doing this, to save your life, or the streets is getting crazy. I don't want you to get caught up in the riffraff, So when I was raising my children, my 2 sons and my daughter, and I always made sure to I didn't just tell them what to do or I didn't tell them what to do or what not to do without an explanation as to why. You know what I mean? Because it's a reason for it. You know what I mean? And y'all don't have to do the things that I did. And just I'm just blessed to have 2 good boys, man, young boys in this society. You know what I mean? This society, man, not getting caught up in them streets because they both thorough. You understand what I'm saying? And they ain't no nerds or nothing like that, but they managed to escape the peer pressure.
Yeah,
and both of them graduated from school and all that. So I'm
How
proud.
many children you have?
I have 3 altogether. My two sons, I have a daughter and a granddaughter.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's hot.
yeah. My daughter being my oldest. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's all that, man.
Yes,
That's all
yes,
that.
for sure.
The children, they keep us on our toes, man.
Hell
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Hell
They
yeah.
really keep us on our toes.
Hell yeah.
And sometimes, like I tell people, if you can't like live for you, like live for them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's like, for me, you know what I'm saying? Of course I want to live for myself, but I definitely
Gotta
want,
definitely live for that.
I definitely want my
baby.
kids to, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
And I want them to really carry that last name with
No doubt.
with pride,
No
and
doubt.
dignity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cause that's what that's what it's for. It's for the last name. You know? Yeah, man.
Yeah. Let me
Most definitely.
let me ask you this though. You say what part of South Philly? You said Wilson?
Wilson Park, yeah.
Yeah, Wilson Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you came up in that era when it was a little rough down there.
Yeah,
growing up.
yeah. I came up down Wilson Park, yeah, on Erie Avenue, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
And West Philly too.
And what's
Cause my mom's side of the family from West.
Got you.
You know,
Got you.
so shit, man, I got ties all over the city,
Right.
man.
Yeah,
Like,
this
I-
city
I
really
was living
small
out-
though when you
Yeah.
really start thinking
Hell
about
yeah.
When
it.
you start thinking about, because I was living out west, I was living at 60th and Lansdowne.
Okay, yeah,
I was
yeah.
living right there where, with the I come up in the era.
Right,
with
right,
Cool
right.
C and
Seeing
Steady
them, right.
B. I lived on
Hilltop.
Hilltop.
Hell
I lived
yeah.
on Steady. I lived on Steady B block.
Okay,
He lived on a 1400, a Redfield. I lived on the 1500.
okay.
I went to Shoemaker in middle school
Right,
when it was
right.
rough.
Right.
Like people don't know, like I was the only kid from uptown, you know what I mean, going to Shoemaker.
Right.
And it was rough. And down there, they were really about that gang shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like they really did 54th Street fighting 60th Street
See the
after
avenue
school.
and all that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
63rd Street fighting 59th Street, the Moon Gang after school.
Right,
You know what I mean? They was
right.
with all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Parkside fighting 60th Street, 52nd Street.
Yeah.
And then me, I'm from uptown. We ain't do none of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They
So-
definitely different down west.
Yeah,
too.
they definitely. So I had to get in where I fit in. You know what I mean? So I was considered being from Hilltop when I was
Mhm.
down there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was an experience, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I'm glad I went through it because that's part of I got stories that I was like, it was part of me being a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like I got stories where I really held my own. You know what I'm saying? Or you was gonna be the kid that they beat up every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Picked
Yeah.
on. And I wasn't going for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I had no choice but to hold my own. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Growing up. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say everything that you go through really has a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When I look back at all that stuff, like, you know what I mean? What they say, you don't go through it, you grow through it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like and for me, I really was, I could really tell you everything I went through and I learned from and what I learned from it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even when it's it didn't work out. You know what I mean? For me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was definitely life definitely has its twists and turns.
Oh yeah.
But it's all like purpose driven. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everything has a reason,
Right.
reasoning behind it. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I like getting on this platform, and like when you talked about abandonment, you talked about the things you talked about. I like to do that, like, because us as men can have breakthroughs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And get, like bruh spoke about, like becoming, like clearing up some things. You know what I'm saying? You know, some things we might have on our chests.
Yeah.
We can clear up, and some things we can clear up with some people sometime without even having a conversation.
Yeah.
Cause you could be like, damn, I never looked at it like that.
Yeah.
You're right.
Let me let that just go.
And that's what and I feel like, not to cut you off, but I feel like that's what this platform right here does.
Right.
For a lot of people, like, just the topics and, where y'all going with it, man. Clear a lot of things up for people. Like, damn,
Definitely.
I never looked at it like that.
Right.
Definitely.
So yeah, man. And my old head once told me, he said everything that's happening to you is happening for you.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, man.
No, that's like,
Yeah.
think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for our viewers, everything that's happening to you is happening for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's like, write that down
Mm-hmm.
and really sit down and really think about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's one of the Johns I'm gonna write in my notes when
Yeah. Yeah.
when I process the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
'Cause
Everything's
something,
happening
it's
to
just,
you.
sometimes we be so like just living and we don't process our day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't go home and just sit back and just say what they say, Musa,
Right.
and just sit back and just, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I got books around my house where I might write the same shit over and over.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me.
Repetitive.
That's
Right,
how
right,
I
right,
do
right, right.
do things.
Forming
you
a
know what I'm
habit,
saying?
yeah. That's a
Yeah.
good joint. That's a good joint. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a book in the car. Just a little, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate, you know what I'm saying, when people when like you coming and sharing, you know what I mean, your story, sharing your upbringing, you know what I'm saying? It can resonate with a lot of other people.
Yeah,
Definitely.
because back in the day, it's like this, it was taboo, man.
Right.
We couldn't come out and talk amongst friends, friends, about
Right.
what's going on. You know, we was considered
And
to
all
be
we
weak.
really having is a conversation.
Right.
We was considered weak, right?
Yup. Considered weak. Shut up, chump.
Right.
Nigga, stop crying.
Mhm.
You know, all that. You know.
But you know that you'll leave a nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, really, like I get on this joint, cry to you, and then do something to you around the corner.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Right.
but now we're trying to get to that stage in life where, like, we can lead to do something to you alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, being able to show your emotions without feeling like embarrassed,
Mm-hmm.
without feeling weak,
Facts.
without feeling like a coward. You know if you're a coward or not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's, realistically speaking, you know what I mean? Jokers be knowing if they really soft or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's nothing for me to cry to my brother. My brother
Right.
know me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's nothing for him to cry to me. I know him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm at that stage in life where I don't care what the world think about me. They already got an opinion regardless.
Yeah.
They're gonna have an opinion. You could do everything right, they're gonna formulate an opinion
they
about
gotta
you.
They're gonna talk anyway.
They're gonna talk anyway.
Yeah.
And then when you look at the people that's talking, a lot of them ain't worth nothing anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So your opinion means nothing. You know what I'm saying? And our people, that's all our people do is bash. We bash each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In a negative way. Instead of really saying, you know what, damn, peace. That was strong for you to let that out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, damn, you had that brother on there, man. You know what I mean? He expressed himself, man. You know what? When he was talking about abandonment, man, that shit made me think about some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My mom used to do to me, or my dad used to do to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know how many calls we get like that?
No, a lot.
Like it's been we've been getting the calls, man.
That's good.
And I'm gonna be honest, man. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate being able to be
The feedback.
that positive reinforcement for somebody that called me and say, damn, Bus, I appreciate you sharing that story, man.
Yeah. Changing lives, man.
Right.
Saving lives.
Right.
Yeah.
A joker can't even talk about his brother dying. He got to keep it, he got to keep the macho on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we wasn't set up to go through all that trauma.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, we should all have an outlet to really, like, put that stuff on the table. You know what I'm saying? And just, that way, we'll see a lot of, that's when healing will start.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If we take and just start putting it on the table, because what happens is we'll consume all that garbage. And then it'll come out in a negative way. And then, you know how people say, damn, I don't know why you act like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a buildup.
Yeah.
That's why he
Yeah.
act like that. He blacked out because, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A lot
He,
going
he
on.
went today, Friday. He went through shit Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. He been blocking everything else. You know what I'm saying? And Friday he just exploded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. But I,
For
you know,
sure.
I appreciate being able to, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's dope. You know what I'm saying? It's dope being able to have brothers come on, share. You know what I'm saying? That's all
Yeah.
that.
This I heard y'all speaking on you know, like the old heads being gone and, you know, locked up. Um, you know, as far as like the what happened to the generation, you know, talking about this generation right here.
Right.
But I think like the way that I see it, it's like the old heads that's out here, it's like we're really like seasoned and can really like we went through the penitentiary, we went through the drug selling, we went through the, you know, the street, where so we could really give it to our sons and our, and, you know, and those that surround us, the youth, you know, of how it really is. And I think that, you know, that we have the ability to reach them a little bit more than how it was when we was coming up. You know, because it was like a whole lost generation. You know, as far as because today we got entrepreneurs, we got people really putting money up and you know really standing on business, man. And we didn't have that back in the day.
Right.
Because I was always trying to figure out like the old heads from the '70s, and you know they had stores and you know a lot of black owned businesses, but where did that generation go as far as like when the drug game came into play?
Right.
Because this was like we wasn't even hip on investing. We wanted clothes and jewelry and cars.
Right.
But where was the game as far as investing? Like where did them old heads go? Like because they was doing it in the '70s.
Right.
Everything black owned. I remember going to the penny store and the, you know, everything just black owned.
Right.
And I was just trying to figure out like where did that concept go when we was getting the money
Right.
in the late in the mid '80s '90s. You know,
Right.
it wasn't too many of us investing in, you know, stuff, but now today it is, and we got that game to give to the youth. You know how to invest and you know how to market and things like that, man. So I think that we a lot more seasoned than the old heads were when we was coming up.
Yeah.
You know, those that were around.
Right.
You feel me?
We got the resources.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
We got the know-how now.
Yeah, for sure. That's why we got the platform.
Right.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Speak
cool.
up.
It's cool
Hell
to go
yeah.
to
You gotta
school.
speak up.
That's right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. It's cool to go to school. That's right. Yep.
Before that wasn't really a thing.
Right.
You
It
know what I'm
wasn't.
saying?
We used to, some of us raising our kids to be gangsters.
Right. People used to be ashamed that they went to school.
Yeah.
Right.
I was definitely raising my sons on the fence.
Right.
3 of them down because of that.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's consequences on what we talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What's your vision?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's dope. We got this platform because it's changing. It could change the narrative.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I think I don't think it's like when we talk about the kids, the youngins growing up now, I don't think it's just one correct answer.
Right.
I think it's a bunch of answers in
It
a pot.
is.
You
It
know what I
is.
Ain't
mean?
no doubt.
Because they taking a hit from so many different
Oh, yeah,
directions.
distraction.
Like I'm big on like when people ask me what do I think the problem is, and I tell people this first and foremost. My personal opinion is this: if you take care of your boys, and I take care of my boys, and he take care of his boys, that'll break down the crime rate.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody take care of their home,
Mm-hmm.
that'll like the numbers will change. It won't eradicate it because
Right.
that's unrealistic.
Right.
But if everybody took care of their responsibilities and was there to really, you know what I mean, guide and govern, you know what I mean, their people,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of this stuff we'll see a drastic change.
Definitely.
That's one of the
Definitely.
that's one of the solutions that I. So with me waking up every day and checking on my kids, and you know what I mean, and letting them know that you know what I mean that they can always express themselves to me, and and just being there
Mm-hmm.
and disciplining them as well as rewarding them as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Me doing that is like me taking a stand, like, if that makes sense, like in regards to society. So not pushing them, not expecting society to raise my kids.
Right.
Because I know somebody, right? And they always want like they always want help with their children.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that they sacrifice, they never sacrifice.
Okay.
Like, and it's okay to have one help. It's okay to get help. But when it's time to sacrifice to protect your and to raise your kids, you always passing the buck.
Yeah.
And that's like, children see that.
Yeah, right.
And why I'm always with Uncle Bus, or why I'm always with cousin
That
B, or
abandonment.
why I'm always,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that
saying? When they get hot. But when it's around to show off and all that, you
Now I
there. But when they
understand
get
it, man.
hot,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So you gotta, like, if everybody just lock into their responsibilities, and they, you know what I'm saying, we'll see a little difference.
Right. Right. Yeah, because they don't understand that, man.
Right.
Why they with, and why can't I stay home? They don't get that. They just, just feel like you were saying, man, why?
Right.
Just without an answer,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how much longer you got school, like, for our school?
Possibly like 9 more months.
9 more months?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah.
So how old are you? I never asked you.
51.
51?
Yeah.
Yeah. 9 more months and you 51. That's all that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all
And
that.
late in the game too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I had a lot of influences, man. I just had to do something, man. Like,
Right.
I lost everything, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? I lost everything. Lost my home, man. My wife, my family. I had to get my thing together.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And just bad decision, man.
Yeah, the
that
consequences.
I lost control of, man.
Right.
Shit, man. I ain't want to get high.
Right.
You understand? But shit, man, I couldn't. And I'm talking about, like, just praying and just because I never went out the house like, yeah, I'm gonna get high.
Right.
It was a time when we was younger. When we used to dip and dab in the weed. It was like, Friday night. You know what I mean? You throw that shit on. You got your fresh cut. All right. I'm enjoying myself, man. Little recreational weed or whatever. But this time, man, I had left the weed cold turkey in 2000. When I got married. But this time, man, was different. It was like I was depressed. Go grab, man. Like just like unconsciously not wanting to live anymore, man. Unconsciously, man.
Yeah.
And it all boiled to just life showing up, man.
Right.
But I couldn't that wouldn't click right then and there. It just wouldn't click. Like, man, this life, man. This is only a feeling, man.
Right.
Grab a hold of yourself, man. But it was that abandonment that came back, due to what was going on in my household. You understand what I'm saying? So because I always moved through, with my mom's situation, like, man, F it, you know what I mean?
Right.
But for some reason around that time, my mom kept coming back, and I remember I used to tell my ex-wife, man, like, damn, man, just think about my mom. But what I didn't understand is, with the pain that I had caused her, had caused her to move further away from me. You understand what I'm saying? And her moving further away from me, I felt abandoned. So all that came back full surface. You feel me? But yeah, man. Yeah, I ain't had no choice, man. But they say nothing changes if nothing changes,
Right.
man. So
If nothing changes, if nothing changes.
Right.
And nothing, what they say, nothing constant. What they say.
Everything constant.
Yeah.
I
Like,
mean,
Mhm.
there's a change. You know what I mean? The whole world changing, whether you changing or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So.
Right. And another thing, one of the things I say, man, like, if you lay down now, this is what the rest of your life gonna look like.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? If you don't like how it feel now and you lay down, well,
It's
get
gonna get
used to
worse,
it, because this
yeah.
what that's gonna look like.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you gotta get up and make a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Gotta get up and make a difference, or this what your future gonna look like.
Mhm.
This right here, because nobody's coming to save you.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
a fact.
Sure. Consequences.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Mhm.
nobody's coming to save us, man. So we got to always, you know what I mean, figure a way to figure it out. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's just what that looked like. You know what I'm
And then I
saying?
was told, man, you know, like, because that was one of my things, you know, sometimes we don't have to have it figured out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes, man, just let go and let God.
Yeah.
How
Just
people
let it
say,
flow.
man, just let it
Mhm.
flow, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, it'll just sit still for a minute.
Right.
You know, and
I believe in that.
yeah, man, just sit still, man. You ain't got to.
Mhm.
It'll come. You know,
Mhm.
but as far as rushing it and, you know, you can cause a lot of damage to yourself.
Mhm.
You know, so, you know, and I'm just speaking from experience because that's
Right.
exactly what happened with me, not being able to figure it out. You know, so yeah.
It's crazy you say that because what you just said, I learned that in baseball.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Just sit still.
Mm-hmm.
And I always said sometimes no move is the best move.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know how like in baseball, if you don't swing, they'll walk you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You'll
Oh
get on
yeah.
base.
Yup. Yup.
And that's what I use that analogy.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's a good
you
job.
know, yeah, you ain't got to swing at everything.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? In
Yeah.
life, you ain't got to swing at everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that
You
too.
know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna hold on to that one,
Yeah,
Bus.
yeah,
Yup.
yeah. We ain't got to swing at everything in life. Some things is just going, you know, we're going to get around them bases.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So, you got anything else to like tell the viewers? You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, just you know, just stay focused, man. You know, one day at a time, man. It ain't about tomorrow, man.
Right.
It's just for the day, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, and feelings don't last forever, and feelings ain't always facts.
Right.
You know,
That's
so
deep. Feelings
yeah,
definitely ain't always facts.
feelings ain't always facts, man. And you know, whenever we going through, man, you know, it's only a moment, man. You know, it's only a moment. You know what I mean? You know, life gonna show up, man. But just be wise about it. You know, just be wise about it, man. Don't make no sudden moves because
Mhm.
you'll learn to regret some things, man. You know, making sudden moves like we was just saying, man. Just sit still. You know, sometimes just sit still, man. You know, yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
feelings ain't always facts.
Right.
Like I used to think I used to feel like I was, you know, like if I go home and get, you know, another a 10,000 clip, I'm gonna go in the casino and win.
Right.
I just lost a 10,000 clip. Now let me go get a 20,000 clip.
Right. Right.
I'm gonna go in there now because I'm a little heavier. Let me go in there and I probably because I feel like I'm gonna win. The day my day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they do? They beat you upside the head
Mm-hmm.
Again.
Sure.
again.
For sure.
And you know how people be like, it gotta turn over.
For
Somebody
sure.
lied to you. It ain't gotta turn over.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. You'll stay stuck in that rut because it's like you're just doing the same behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way it's gonna turn over if you remove yourself from the behaviors.
Change.
Not
We just
been
talked about
change.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, them
If
consequences.
you don't change,
bro.
nothing's going to change.
That's
Right.
right. That's right.
And some it's deep because like some consequences, some behaviors I'm still paying the consequences for.
Oh yeah,
No,
me
no
too.
doubt.
You know what I'm
Me
saying?
too. Shit, my
Like-
license still suspended.
Right.
You know, shit like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And they don't care that you got yourself together.
Right.
You still
No,
got to
you
pay the
gotta go through the
consequences for your
process.
At all.
behavior. It's a
At all.
process, right?
And the crazy thing is, I used to drive on suspended license. Not today though.
Right,
Mhm.
Not today.
right.
You know, I can chill, man. Now this it's just not worth it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's
That
not worth it,
livestock
man.
heavy.
Yeah,
it's
hell
not worth
yeah.
it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not worth it. Yeah,
Dog
yeah.
livestock,
It's been a dope conversation, man. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You know, I'm always, you know, just right up my alley. I like to just, you know, have a conversation, kick it. You know what I'm saying? It beats kicking it about a bunch of nothing. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying?
Ain't no doubt.
Sure.
So
Therapeutic for me. Like I was
Yeah.
taking a lot in.
Hell
I
yeah.
appreciate you sharing on this
I
platform.
mean, I appreciate y'all, man.
Ain't no
You
doubt.
know?
yeah,
Mhm.
what we doing, bro?
Table of consequence, you know what it is.
You
Another
already.
episode. Let's get it.